Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the October 16th City Council meeting. I call the meeting to order. Welcome everybody here. Glad you could be here. And we have a very special bunch of guests to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Mason, you're going to come up here to the front, right? Yeah. Yes. And he's going to, if everybody would stand up and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and so all of the different Boy Scouts from Troop 818, everybody just stand up. We're not going to do all the questioning, but one at a time, you're just going to come to the microphone and tell us is it your rank? Am I saying that? Okay, your rank and where you go to school. And so we'll start with you, Mason.
My name's Mason Zwiker. I go to school at Stillwater Junior High, and I'm an Eagle Scout.
Great. Wow, Eagles. All right, who's next? Let's just go in line.
I'm Austin Rouser, and I am an Eagle Scout, and I am homeschooled.
Very good. Welcome.
I am Trace Rouser. I homeschool, and I'm just new here, so I don't have a rank.
That's okay. Welcome.
I'm Brock Rouser. I'm also homeschooled, and I am waiting to get my Eagle board in, so that's where I'm at right now.
That's great. It's a kind of a theme. Okay, are you?
Parker Jackson.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we blew that off.
Stillwater Junior High, I'm star rank.
Welcome.
My name's Nate Saz. I go to the Stillwater Middle School, and I am second class rank.
Very good. Welcome.
My name is Dylan Spear. I go to the Stillwater Middle School, and I'm the tenderfoot rank.
Very good. Welcome.
My name is Alex Hill. I go to Stillwater Middle School, and I'm also tenderfoot.
Very good. Welcome.
I'm Emery Zollner. I go to the Perkins Tryon Junior High, and I am Life Scout.
Very good. Welcome.
My name is Devlin Yates, and I go to Stillwater Middle School, and I am Scout rank.
Very good. Welcome.
My name is Misha Nash. I go to the Stillwater Middle School, and I don't have a rank yet.
That's okay. Great. Welcome.
I'm Samuel Snyder. I'm from Glencoe Middle School, and I am a star.
Very good. So thank you all for being here. Very proud of your accomplishments. Those were some pretty big accomplishments. Counselors, anybody want to ask anything?
I was going to ask who the troop leaders are.
They're back there. You just can't see them. If they could all stand up. There we go.
Thank
yes.
you. Yep.
Yes. And I will count. Let's take a picture. And I forgot to deliver you really good news. After your picture, you don't have to sit there the whole meeting. You guys can okay. Yeah. Okay. So everybody come, let's come right over here. That's easy. Everybody take a nice picture. I'm not going to be tall enough. All right, I'm going to stand right here. I think we're going to have to scooch over. Get over here. Come. Some people stand up in the front. There we go. All right. I want to make sure everybody.
I don't think so either.
Thank you, guys. Okay, the next item on our agenda is a proclamation, And Vice Mayor Pat Darlington is going to read the proclamation, and it's on Mental Health Awareness Week.
That's right. Thank you very much for letting me do this. Mental health is near and dear to my heart. And, you know, I really think I love having the week to recognize mental health awareness. But I do think that mental health got the wrong marketing team from the very start. We should have had the same marketing company that the Dental Association got. Every 6 months, a mental health checkup. So make this your mental health checkup week. Whereas mental health is an essential part of overall health, and whereas mental health is the leading health reason for work performance loss and second leading reason for absenteeism, and whereas it has been predicted that by 2020, mental health problems, particularly depression, will become the leading cause of work disability. And whereas mental illness and addiction are real medical conditions, and every individual must have the opportunity for early and appropriate mental health screening, assessment, and referral to treatment for services and support that lead to recovery. And whereas it is essential to eliminate disparities in mental health by promoting well-being for all, regardless of race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, language, place of residence, or age, and ensure equity of access, delivery of services, and improvement of outcomes. And whereas information technology must be used to improve care and information dissemination among the diverse cultural groups within our community. Now therefore, I, Pat Darlington, Vice Mayor of the City of Stillwater, do hereby proclaim the week of October 15th through October 21st, 2017 as Mental Illness Awareness Week in the City of Stillwater to increase public awareness of severe mental illness and to promote the wellness of our diverse community members.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Is there anyone here to, okay. Okay, so thank you for doing that. And I like your 6-month checkup thing. That's, who couldn't use a little fine tuning? Okay. Okay, that brings us to the consent docket. Counselors, does anyone wish to remove an item or clarify an item, or is there a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to remove item B, the Sherrar Museum Quarterly Report.
Done. So, anybody else?
Motion to approve the consent docket minus item B.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent docket minus item B. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the consent docket is approved minus item B. And that brings us, we don't have any public comments on agenda, and so that will bring us to items removed from consent docket, which is item B.
Great. I always like to give recognition for those quarterly reports that people put in when they present it to the council. And so I want to thank the Sherrar Museum for their quarterly report for July, August, and September. And I just wanted to highlight a couple things because I think it's important for the Stillwater community to know about this museum that highlights our community's history. The Sherrar Museum in July, August, and September had just a little under 2,000 visitors to it, which I think is amazing for that size of museum. So I want to give kudos to that. And wanted to let people know two things. One is that they have changed their Stillwater Museum Association Board of Trustees approved a new name for the Sherrar Museum, and the museum's name will be changed to the Stillwater History Museum at the Sherrar in order to kind of explain the museum's mission a little bit more and maybe give everyone a little bit better idea about what this building is and how much it means to the community. And to let everyone know that at the end of October, a traveling quilt exhibit will be installed at the museum and will be open to the public from November to February. The museum is also preparing for our holiday open house before the Christmas parade and is looking ahead to spring partnerships, including the annual How Oklahoma Began school program with the Wondatorium. This is a gem in our community, and so thank you for your quarterly reports. It does make a difference, and I just wanted to highlight that.
And I love the new name.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay, that brings us to public hearings. And on item A, oh, we do have to approve that with a vote, don't we? Excuse me. Is there
Motion
a
to
motion?
approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve item B on the consent docket. Please vote. And with a vote of 4-0, item B is approved. And Councilor Zanotti, thank you for pulling that off and talking about it. We are very proud of the museum. Okay, now we will move to public hearings. And on item A, it is going to be postponed to November 6th. Is that right?
Mayor, we received a request from the applicant to move that item to the next regular city council meeting, which would be November 6th.
Okay, and do we vote on, we need to vote on that so we can put it on the November 6th agenda?
Yes, please.
Yes?
Okay. Postpone that.
To postpone until November 6th is
Right.
the language.
Motion to postpone the public hearing for the map amendment 1123 South Ridge, 1124 South Ridge to November 6th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to postpone until November 6th. For item A, please vote. And with a vote of 4-0, we are postponing that public hearing until November 6th. That moves us to item B. Received public comment regarding a request for a map amendment to rezone 1501 South Perkins Road and 619 East 15th Avenue from RSS Residential Small Lot Single Family to CG Commercial General, CC-17-147. Mr. McGrath, do we have good notice on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McNichol.
Lance Gross will give that report, and I would like to say to you that Lance, our Development Review Manager in Development Services, he joined the city on October 5th. He came to us from Oklahoma City, where he served in planning roles for 26 years. And please let me finish this next sentence. The first part's maybe questionable. His master's in planning from OU, and his bachelor's in agriculture, landscape, architecture, and horticulture is from OSU. We're excited for Lance to be in Stillwater and look forward to his insight and his leadership in review of development projects. So it's all yours, sir.
Great. Thank you. It's great to be here as well. Let's see. The first map amendment before you is located at 1501 South Perkins Road and 619 East 15th Avenue. The blue line in the map is the property boundary, and both lots are currently zoned RSS. Residential small lot, single family. The applicant is Rick Snyder, and he owns both lots, and both of these lots are separated by an alley. The yellow on the map represents RSS zoning, and the red on the map represents CG, Commercial General. The applicant is requesting to rezone both lots to CG, Commercial General. The C3 plan indicates 1501 South Perkins as commercial and 619 East 15th as low-density residential. Photos for the site, 1501 South Perkins. The top photo is looking to the east at the commercial structure fronting onto Perkins. And on the back side of this commercial structure, there is a duplex, a residential duplex. The lower photo shows a standalone single-family structure, and it shows the backside of the duplex. The next photo shows 619 East 15th Avenue. You can see the alley right adjacent to the concrete block structure. And the concrete block structure has actually lost its conformance. Originally, it was built as construction, and it had a legally non-conforming status. But since the structure has been vacant for 12 consecutive months, it's lost its conformance. The lower photo shows the eastern facade of the concrete block structure. Are there any questions?
How long has that structure been vacant? Do we know? anything more resolute than more than 12 months?
No, we do not. That's probably something we could look into. But based upon the appearance, it looks as though it's been, quite a while.
Sure.
It's in disrepair.
Okay.
Any other questions? Not at this time? Okay. So at this time, I will open the public hearings, and we do have a few speakers for this. So the public hearing is now open. Well, before I do this, I just want to remind everybody that when you come up here, please state your name and your address, and you have, Mr. McGrath, is it 5 minutes? 5 minutes to, or less, to state what you would like to state, and if someone else has already stated it, then you don't have to, but you can still come up and say, I agree with them. All right, our first speaker is Alta Simpson. Good evening, Ms. Simpson.
Good evening. My name is Alta Simpson, 1518 South Hartford. And this structure that we're looking at a while ago, it's been empty for years because I live right around the corner.
Okay.
There was an old house set there, and it finally was bulldozed down.
Would you lower your microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go. Is that better?
That's
Okay.
better?
Okay. Okay.
All right. And we have no objection to the man going general commercial or whatever that is, commercial general, that goes to Perkins Road. But we do have an objection as a whole neighborhood. This is a small neighborhood. There's 6 buses that pick up children from the smallest to high school. So we want to keep it residential, as it should be, and I think you'll agree with that. Our Tucker's Addition has had some great history. In 88 years, a church was built in the 1500 block of South Pennsylvania. It now sits at 11th and Lewis, First Assembly of God Church. Also, the Cimarron Valley Quilters Guild was born in 1986. The guild is now 31 years old. And it was started in the 600 block of South Springfield. Martha Lamb's house and Helen Rogers were 2 ladies that just visited, thought we needed a quilt guild, so now we have one. And it's wonderful. Anybody come in second Tuesday of the month. And then I met a young couple with this thing coming up. They were renting in the 600 block South Hartford. They have now bought the house on 17th Street. So we're still getting young people buying homes, and I bought mine 30 years ago, I guess. I'm sure you'll agree with us to keep 619 East 15th and Hartford single-family residential, not commercial general. Thank you for helping us to preserve our neighborhood.
Thank you, Ms. Simpson.
Thank you.
Put that down. Our next speaker is Rick Schneider.
My name's Rick Snyder. I office out of 1823 South Perkins Road. I also own the properties that I'm asking to be rezoned. I've gave you a little pamphlet, and I'm going to read the pamphlet just for the sake of the people that are watching on TV and anybody in the audience. I purchased the property known as 619 East 15th this summer on July 21st of 2017, and because I already owned the property at 15th and Perkins, known as 1501 South Perkins. Property located at 619 East 15th was in very poor condition at the time of purchase and still is. Upon purchasing the property on Friday, my wife and I left for Missouri, and when we came back on Wednesday, only to find a citation from the Community Development Department nailed to the overhead door ordering the previous owner to clean the property up and secure it to prevent vagrants from occupying it. At that time, I did call the Community Development Department, told the inspector that I had just purchased the properties with plans to clean it up, and was told that he would work with me to get this matter resolved. When I applied for the building permit to remodel the structure back to the warehouse shop that it had been in the past, I was told that I could not get a permit due to the property currently being zoned RSS. And the building being restored or would be used for business use. I understand the requirements. Therefore, I am applying for both of the properties at 1501 South Perkins Road and 619 to be rezoned so I can remodel the building and clean them up. My plans for the structures located at 1501 South Perkins Road which at the present time is a warehouse with 2 living quarters. This structure would get new siding and paint on the exterior of the building. There is also another structure located on that lot, the single standalone building, which is an efficiency apartment. When this building is in disrepair, we had a water line bust and it's just nasty. This address is 605 East 15th, and my plan is to remove the building, which would increase the visibility to 619 East 15th. On the other lot that is being requested to be rezoned with the address of 619 East 15th, Stillwater, there is a single block structure with 2 large overhead doors, and that is in major disrepair. At one time, there was a house on the lot that butted up to the building, and that's why we have boards on the east side. That house was condemned and was removed by the previous owner, creating a large open area there with the cinder block near the building, near the alley. At 619, I plan to remodel the structure with into a small business office for a tradesperson to work out of, such as electrician, plumber, or HVAC, or any other type of person that might need a place to store their equipment and a place for the employees to meet where they can work. This remodeling would include a new metal roof, painting of the building, new overhead doors, and entry with an enclosed fence and surround the property. It would be a low volume traffic area. At the present time, there are several parcels in the neighborhood that are zoned commercial, including the property across the street to the north at 1423 South Perkins Road, which is accessed off of 15th Avenue. In this block, there is also property that is zoned CG, which is a body shop and cowboy towing located on the south end of the block. Between my property and the body shop car lot, there is a home and an apartment building which has a home-based business, based HVAC business is in it. On the other side of the street, there is the On-Q convenience store and gas and a car dealership. There are also several other small shops in the neighborhood that are not located on Perkins Road. 801 East 14th, which is 702 East 14th, which is a HVAC contractor. 801 East 14th, which is a cement contractor. 805 East 14th, which is a woodworking shop, and 807 East 14th, which I think is a towing company. It could be a handyman service. I'm not sure. On the west side of Perkins Road, there are also several other businesses that are not located on Perkins Road, such as LifeNet Ambulance Service, which is only a half a block off, just like 619. And Habitat for Humanity, Custom Signs, Overhead Door of Stillwater, and Frontier Fire Protection. All of these businesses are within 3 to 4 blocks or less of the property that I'm asking to be rezoned. I know there are several residents that have concerns about what was going on to be at the location. Therefore, I submitted a copy of this remodeling plans and that will go with my application for my building permit and a list of improvements. something
Thank
that-
you, Mr. Schneider. We did go past the 5
Oh, I'm
minutes.
sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
So is there anything?
No,
We
no.
can-
I think this will be a low-traffic project, and because of the zoning, nobody's going to put anything crazy in there.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, our next speaker is Joy Bridges.
Hi, I'm Joy Bridges. I live at 1422 South Hartford Street, so you can see that lot from my house. And I just wanted to say I have a 9-year-old son, and I own my home there, and I have no problem with someone putting a small business there. So that's all I wanted to say, is that I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. And our last speaker is Shirley Weeks.
Good evening. My name is Shirley Weeks. I live at 71 University Circle. I would urge you to vote against changing this from a residential neighborhood to commercial. This neighborhood has a history of working together to maintain a viable, safe environment. I've worked with this neighborhood before on other issues. They were active in the Neighborhood Alliance. The neighborhoods have established leaders who they trust to speak for the neighborhood. I would urge you to listen to ALTA. They understand the significance of continuous boundaries and continuous intact zoning districts. I urge you to support this neighborhood and the continuance of a strong, viable, historic residential neighborhood. Vote for the quality of life of the people that live in this area. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Weeks. And that is all of the speakers, correct? Okay. Okay, so the public hearing is now closed. And we will ask staff to come back and tell us a recommendation.
Yes, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the site for 1501 South Perkins Road and a denial for the 619 East 15th Avenue by a vote of 3 to 1.
Okay, counselors, questions?
Yeah, so with Mr. Schneider's point to the other properties around that are zoned, or that are currently operating as shops, are any of those actually zoned for commercial use, or do they hold a legal non-conforming status?
We don't know for sure, but more than likely, since the entire property or the entire neighborhood is RSS right now, we'd have to look into it. But the assumption is that they're probably legally
non-conforming.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't see anything on the map beyond Perkins Road that was actually zoned for commercial or office or any kind of business goings on. So that was my assumption as well, was
Yes.
a legal non-conforming status.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and I want to be mindful of the C3 plan. It's not a Bible, but I use it as a guideline. And the C3 plan supports that commercial zoning throughout the Perkins area, but keeping intact that neighborhood plan for the 619 East 15th. And so, in looking at that and then looking at those variances, I wanted to take that into consideration as well. Moving forward.
Vice Mayor?
I wanted to thank Mr. Schneider for the explanation of what he
From
had
the
to do.
Planning Commission? Or,
Well, Mr.
that,
Schneider's
okay.
explanation
Okay,
and
yes.
then the drawings. And this is just frustrating when you know that what you're going to do is going to be nice, but when we change a zone, it is not necessarily set in stone that it can be nice. So there's some variation possible.
Okay. Any more questions, or is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the Planning Commission's recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept Planning Commission's recommendation. Do I need to rephrase that any differently? Yes, okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0. Planning Commission's recommendation is approved. And that was CC-17-147. All right, that moves us to the next item, which is receive public comment regarding a request for a map amendment to rezone 2011 and 2021 West 4th Avenue, 2002 through 2015, both sides West 5th Avenue, 2006 and 2012 West 6th Avenue, 402 and 504 South McFarland Street, and 401 through 523 East Side, South Willis Street, from RSS Residential Small Lot Single Family to P Public, CC-17-149. Mr. McGrath, did we have good notice on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McNichol.
And Lance Gross, Development Review Manager, will have that report.
Thank you. The second map amendment before you is a two-block area between Willis and McFarland, 4th Avenue and 6th Avenue, directly to the east of the current Westwood Elementary School. The purple line on the map indicates the property boundary in a zone RSS, Residential Small Lot Single Family. And it also has the Westwood Neighborhood Conservation Overlay. The site is owned by the Stillwater Public School District, and they wish to rezone the property to public in order to construct a new school. In yellow to the north and also to the west, the property is also zoned RSS with the Westwood overlay. The property to the east in blue is zoned public. It's the property which is the existing Westwood Elementary School, and the property in purple to the south is zoned office. The C3 plan indicates the property as public. If rezoned, the Westwood Overlay District would not be retained. This is a photo showing, looking to the northwest at 6th and McFarland. And you can see the current parking lot that the school currently uses. And this is at 4th and Willis, looking to the southeast. There are approximately, I believe there's 14 structures within this area that'll be relocated, either demolished or relocated. And that is it. Any questions?
Counselors, questions?
I do have a question. I understood that the existing school was inside the overlay district, or was covered by the overlay?
Yes, it is.
So if we were to rezone the new piece to public, why would that be removed from the overlay?
Well, the primary reason, if the portion that's the subject site that's under for rezoning, the Westwood Conservation District is set up to conserve or protect some of the existing homes. And since it'll be a school, the new subject or the new site, there wouldn't really be any homes to protect there on that site. And that's the primary reason.
But the school, as it exists now, is covered by the overlay?
Okay, staff is saying it is not.
No?
Yes.
I was told otherwise, so.
Actually, I've looked at the
overlay
legal-
applied.
I'm sorry. I have looked at the legal description within the ordinance, and it does include the school. So, and Patty can probably give some input.
I believe in the ordinance, in the Westwood Overlay Ordinance, it describes all the property that is zoned RSS in that area. So the school does not have that overlay. And so it will be removed if this property is rezoned to public, the overlay will be removed from these properties.
How will that affect the rest of the overlay? Is there any effect?
It doesn't affect any of the rest of the overlay. Everything that's zoned RSS will still have that overlay on it.
Any other questions? Thank you. Okay, we don't have any speakers for this, but so I will open the public hearing, and now I'm going to close the public hearing and ask for the recommendation. Don't have any other speakers.
Planning Commission recommendation was to approve this application by a 4-0 vote.
Councilors, questions, comments, or a motion?
Well, if the school, present school is not included in the overlay, it does not make sense to try to include this new in it, so it does make sense to match.
Exactly.
If it's a school, it's just
And it's
a
not
school.
going to affect anything else.
Correct.
In the overlay.
That is correct.
For the neighborhood. All right, is there a motion?
Motion to accept the Planning Commission's recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Planning Commission's recommendations on CC 17-149. Please vote. And with a vote of 4-0, CC-17-149 is approved. And that takes us to ordinances on second reading. Mr. McGrath.
Ordinance number 3386, an ordinance rezoning property addressed as 316 South Stallard Street from P Public District to O Office District.
Discussion, questions?
Motion to
Motion.
adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 3386. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, ordinance number 3386 is adopted. That moves us to ordinance number 3387. Mr. McGrath.
Ordinance number 3387, an ordinance rezoning a tract of land located at 1005 South Duncan Street, RT Residential Two-Family District, RTM Residential Two-Family and Multifamily District.
Councilors, discussions, questions, or motion?
Motion to adopt ordinance 3387.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 3387. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, ordinance number 3387 is adopted. That brings us to reports from officers and boards. Miscellaneous items from the city attorney's office.
Request for executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307, Section B4, for the purpose of confidential communication with the city attorney regarding the workers' compensation claim filed by Arnold Whitney. It's the opinion of the city attorney that public disclosure of this matter will seriously impair the ability of the city council to process this claim and/or conduct an investigation and/or to prosecute or defend any resulting litigation or proceeding in the public interest.
Thank you. City manager?
I do, and I've made myself a list. Had the honor of accompanying our public safety personnel both Friday night and Saturday morning, and would like to express my gratitude to all public safety personnel on a job well done during the 2017 Oklahoma State University homecoming. And at the risk of missing someone, I would like the public to know how far-reaching this is. So, involved with LifeNet, City of Perkins, Payne County Sheriff's Office, Stillwater Police and Fire Departments, Payne County District 3, Oklahoma State University, and our own emergency management. And I truly do apologize if we're missing someone. Oh, Cushing PD. I would tell you that it was a safe event with no serious incidents, and an evening spent by people coming up to the officers and asking to be able to take selfies. So it was also a good public relations thing. So successful event, and we thank those folks. That is a long couple of days.
It's a long couple of days, and I want to reiterate what you said. Just so thankful for everybody who participated in making everybody safe this weekend, right? But it just doesn't start the weekend before and we throw some plans together to make sure. How long have you been planning for this?
Since the last one ended.
It doesn't stop. So
Right.
Very much appreciated. It's very professional and makes everybody feel safe. even if they don't know it's there. All right, city councilors, is there news that you would like to discuss?
Sure. I'm excited to announce that the city has launched a new survey to gather input from the community, including citizens' opinion about quality of life and city services. The survey is Stillwater's first citizen satisfactory survey since 2006, so it's time. To take part in the survey, please visit the city website at stillwater.org. The results will be submitted to City Council sometime in December or early next year.
Very important, and I believe you can do that even on your phone, so really there's not an excuse. When you're sitting in a meeting, you're a little bit bored. Okay. Vice Mayor.
Okay, I would like to remind residents about the Who to Contact page on the city website. If you haven't been to the city website recently, it has been redone in the last year, and it's really quite nice. So go to the Who to Contact page. This page allows residents to report a problem to the city or track the city's action on that problem. The Who to Contact page allows for any resident to use the drop-down categories for some of the most common questions or concerns.
Thank you. Councilor Wedlake.
And finally, CFO Melissa Reams said the city received its sales tax on August 2017, transactions that were remitted to the Oklahoma Tax Commission in September, and a portion to the city this month. The amount totaled a 1.76% decrease from October 2016, so this same time last year, and is under budget by 1.28%. So not to get on a soapbox here, but this further outlines the disparity between local business and internet businesses. I think City Manager McNichol has done an admirable job in outlining the problems with the current rules and the current laws that are set up with internet businesses. Some people will tell you that that if we were to collect taxes on internet businesses, that would somehow be a new tax. I don't know how you can, with a straight face, make that argument, as sales taxes has been a tax that's been around since before America was a country. It's not a new tax. It is an unfair business practice by internet businesses. So, that being said, this is just further evidence that we need to get laws in the books that fairly collect sales tax on internet businesses across state lines. So, I'll end it at that.
Agreed, and this is actually a national, it has to be Congress doing this, not anything Oklahoma can do, not anything we can do.
Hopefully something the Supreme Court can do.
Absolutely, and we all agree with you, and shop local. And when you're paying that sales tax and you think, darn it, I'm paying sales tax on this purchase, just think about it as the ease of sitting on your couch and getting a purchase.
And think about the state of our roads and sidewalks.
I do think there is something that we can do, though. I mean, we have to be talking to our elected persons. Other states have changed this in their own state, and without Supreme Court, and their returns on sales tax are astonishing. And we can talk to. We need to be really educated about this. We need to be clear, respectful, and demand our legislators get
Our Oklahoma legislators.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, anybody,
Yeah.
anybody who's elected.
All right.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
I'll take over Councilor Joyce's reports for the evening. So 3 members of the Stillwater Fire Department have been promoted. Dalton Everett is promoting to Lieutenant Medical Officer and has been a member of the team since August 2015. Joey McIntyre is promoting to Lieutenant. He began his career with the Stillwater Fire Department in 1998 and holds several certifications, including hazmat awareness, RIT, confined space rescue, and paramedic. And last but not least, Alan Westermeer is promoting to Captain. He began his career with the department in December of 2007 and is a licensed EMT paramedic and member of the Stillwater SWAT team. So I wanted to make sure to recognize those individuals.
Congratulations to all of those individuals. And I will just, I just want to say something very quickly. I'm going to soapbox it a minute also. October is Breast Cancer Awareness. month. And I want to remind everybody that early detection is the key to not only saving your life, but having more choices if you do end up with breast cancer. I am a survivor, and I want to make sure that all of you talk to all of your friends, tell the women and even men in your lives, people that you love, your friends, that it's time to go and get screening, and 3D screening captures it much quicker. You can see it better, so if you have the choice, please do a 3D screening for breast cancer awareness and tell your friends. It's very important. Okay. Anything else? We have appointments next.
We do.
Okay, and this is for citizens, boards, and committees, and we have from the Sister Cities Council, members Irby, Durham, and Jones have continued to serve and wish to be reappointed for an additional 3-year term. Carolyn Conifer has relocated, so this seat is now vacant, and we have one application from Quan Wall, and I nominate Quan to be on the Sister Cities Council to replace Carolyn Conifer. So that's the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint.
We're renewing those other terms.
Yes, okay.
Sorry.
Can I start over on the motion, or do I have to?
Since there's a second on the motion, should we have to withdraw the second?
I withdraw the second.
Okay, and so now I
Withdraw
can.
your motion.
Okay, I withdraw the motion,
Now you can start a new.
and I'm going to start a new motion. I nominate Quan Wall to serve on the Sister Cities Council, and I nominate for reappointment Becky Irby, Dale Durham, and Larry Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to reappoint 3 members and to appoint a new member. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0. They are reappointed, and Quan Wall is appointed to the Sister Cities Council.
Some of the people on the Sister Cities Council have been there have given a great deal of time and effort to that particular council, and that's really admirable.
And we
really appreciate it.
absolutely, we really appreciate their service. Okay, at this time, I am going to recess the Stillwater City Council meeting and go to the Stillwater Utility Authority meeting. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Trustees, does anyone wish to remove an item, or is there a motion to approve the consent docket?
Motion to approve the consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Stillwater Utilities Authority consent docket. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the consent docket is approved. That brings us to reports from officers and boards. General Counsel, General Manager,
No items, ma'am.
trustees.
No, thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn Stillwater's Utility Authority. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the Stillwater Utilities Authority for October 16th is adjourned, and I will now reconvene the Stillwater City Council meeting. Do we have a motion and a second to move into executive session?
Motion to go to executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go to executive session. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, we are moving to executive session. You have a question? All right, so if you have a question very quickly, you can come forward and catch